order. We ask that you please stand with us to be led to the invocation by Alderwoman Cooper, followed by the pledge of allegiance by Mayor Pro Tem O'Gara.
Bow your heads, please. As we gather today to make decisions for this town, let our efforts be blessed with insight and wisdom, and please allow us to be open to others' beliefs and respectful of our differences. Bless all those who have come and who were wanting to come but were unable to make it, and thank you all for being here. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Under the matter of additions or deletions to the agenda, I have been preempted, so if you would, ladies and gentlemen, under item 9, presentation, let's make item A state of the community video. 9A, state of the community video. 9B will be the quarterly financial report, as is. 9C, under presentation, Chief Williams, to talk about safety and the open house. Do I need to repeat any of those? 9C, Alderwoman Sullivan.
I was gonna ask and request to add to the agenda pedestrian, the lighting for the crosswalk update. And since he's gonna be talking about the safety, I don't know if it has anything to do, but can Mr. Gerald give us an update? The board did have a meeting and requested that we get pedestrian crosswalk in certain areas, and just want an update on it.
So item D will be pedestrian safety. Is that good enough?
Yes, sir.
And that'll be presented by Mr. Gerald.
Yes.
That will be 9D. Any other additions under presentation from the board? Okay, under new business, 10C, let us at this time delete this item.
No, 10C.
10C. 10C. Baltimore. If there are no more, changes, Alderwoman Cooper?
I make a motion that we approve the agenda with the requested additions and deletions.
Mayor Pro Tem O'Gara.
I second that motion.
It has been moved and seconded that we approve the agenda with the amendments or the changes. You heard the motion. Are you ready for the question?
Right.
All in favor, sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, sign of nay. Okay, we now move to item on the agenda number 6, the approval of consent items. Alderwoman Sullivan.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to make a motion that we approve the consent items for March the 25th, 2019, regular meeting.
Alderwoman Cooper.
I second that motion.
It has been moved and seconded that we approve the consent items. All in favor, sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, sign of nay. Item 7, the public forum. We have one person signed up, and that is Ms. Eddie Sanford. You may approach, please.
Good evening.
Can you all hear? One moment, please. Can you all hear us okay? Okay. Thank you, Ms. Sanford. You may proceed.
Eddie Sanford, 104 Waukegan Drive, right here in Spring Lake. God bless all of you. I'm happy to be here. There are about 4 things that I would like to bring before the board this evening. And one is, I would like for us to think about a curfew for these young kids running the streets at 8 and 9 o'clock. These little elementary kids, they don't need to be in the street walking around in little groups. The devil is out to kill, steal, and to destroy. And if the parents won't do it, then I think that we can do something about it so that the parents will have to step up and take charge of their children, because otherwise somebody's gonna hurt them. Because they walk through people's yards and you know, do things that they shouldn't be doing. And we don't want that in our community. We don't want that in Spring Lake. We don't want any child getting hurt, getting shot, because everybody is not gonna keep a level mind and say, okay, kids, y'all go out and get out my yard. You know, people have guns. And so we need to do something about that. And, you know, y'all think about that. The other thing is the bus that comes out of Deerfield. That light is so long that it takes away from them getting to school on time. So y'all think about that. What can we do to eliminate them getting to school on the late note? You know, we can get somebody out there to check the traffic and hold them back and let the bus come out, or what? Right there seems to be a problem. I talked with the assistant principal, and she was saying that seemed to be the problem there. But otherwise, everything seems to be okay as far as she knows. Nobody has said anything else about it. And I heard you talking about the safety light. Right there where 210 and 87, you know, divide, there needs to be something there. And then I saw something last week. The kids that I guess live up in that hotel, they are crossing the street, you know, way up in there, and that's dangerous. That's dangerous. So we need to check and see what can we do about that. We don't want the kids hurt, you know, because see, people will almost run over you in your car. They don't go at 55, they don't stop. They keep going 55 all the way into Spring Lake. I know because they right behind me, and if I don't speed up, they'll be in my back. You know, so we need to think about those things, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Gerald, you will be able to respond to her in about well-written letter.
Yes.
Thank you. And forward it, your copy, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Spencer. Okay, public hearing, Ms. Page will present this item. If you will come forward, Ms. Page.
This is case P 1910. It is a text amendment, and the request is revision to the amendment to the Town of Spring Lake zoning ordinance, Code of Ordinances, Chapter 42, zoning by amending Article 3, permitted conditional and special uses, Section 42-63.3. Use matrix allowing call center by inserting a P indicating permitted use in the CP/C3 column and updating the table of contents as appropriate. In the action in case P 1910, the Cumberland County Joint Planning Board recommends approval of the text amendment to the Spring Lake zoning ordinance, finding it is consistent with the adopted comprehensive plan designated as the 2030 Growth Vision Plan, specifically including policy area I, a more diversified local economy, and policy area 9, compatible I'm sorry, that would be policy area 1, not I. A more diversified local economy, and policy area 9, compatible commercial development and the Spring Lake Area Land Use Plan 2003. Goal of providing an atmosphere that promotes the expansion of commercial development that is dynamic, diverse, and capable of providing a full range of business and economic opportunities. And further find that approval of the amendment is reasonable and in the public interest because the amendment, if approved, would enable property owners and developers to market call center use for commercial properties, therefore opening more opportunities for economic development. Additionally, this amendment was prepared and submitted by the town of Spring Lake.
We shall now open this segment for the hearing for anyone who wants to speak for or against this amendment. We now are open for public comment for or against. For the third time, we're now open for public comment. Hearing none, is there a motion to close the hearing? Alderman Cooper.
I make a motion that we close the public hearing.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the public hearing for case P19-10 be closed. You've heard the motion. Are you ready for the question?
Question.
All in favor, sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Presentations. A, State of the Community video. Yes.
Greetings. I would like to introduce myself. I'm Larry Dobbins, the mayor of the wonderful town of Spring Lake. We are a small community situated in the northwest corner of Cumberland County, where we abut the southern border of Harnett County. Our town history is unique. We were organized on April 9th in 1951 when the North Carolina General Assembly passed House Bill 791. This act served to officially establish us as a town, and we're so proud. We are a friendly, inviting, and neighborly town that shares close proximity with the largest military base in the world, and that is Fort Bragg. Our population is about 13,000 citizens, many who have served our nation with pride, and others who share in the hometown values. We are a resilient community, and recently our perseverance was tested with the ongoing recovery efforts resulting from the natural weather phenomenon of Hurricane Matthew and Hurricane Florence. As part of our community resurgence, we have undergone major road construction to address safety concerns that divided this town into eastern and western sectors. This measure was taken to increase pedestrian and general traffic safety concerns that arose from the road construction. We are in the process of enhancing our image through aesthetic design in the areas of architecture and landscaping efforts. These measures are being implemented to entice new businesses to invest in the area and to attract a growing population to make our town more home-like. Our town leadership is pursuing opportunities to acquire grants to assist in the commitment to rebuild and develop with a focus on Main Street. It is my strong belief that an economic development boom is closer to reality than one can imagine. Our town features newly paved tennis and basketball courts for our youth to play in while in a safe, orderly environment. We recently broke ground on a splash pad that will open as school closes and provide, again, another environment for our children during the summer. Our visitors can comfortably stay in our award-winning hotels while they choose to dine in our restaurants and shop in our community and family-oriented small businesses. Well, perhaps you are looking for adventure. If you prefer to explore while enjoying fresh air and sunshine, how about kayaking on the Little River? If you choose to stay dry, then you may feel free to take a hike in our nature trail, located in the historically recognized Carver Creek Park. We have begun development of a second walking trail in the Musburg property, soon to be open for your enjoyment. As a native son of the town of Spring Lake, I know that our future is brighter than our past. Spring Lake is a town that is an example of local pride combined with the commitment of collaboration for the pursuit of prosperity. This ethos is embraced by all who congregate here and in our proximity, where truly there is unity for prosperity.
That was a presentation to the Fayetteville Chamber of Commerce, and I couldn't say it all, but we are proud of the work here at Spring Lake, or in Spring Lake, and there's much more to do, and I must say that it is on the way. So thank you all for your support and for what you do to make our town a better place to live. Okay, let's move forward. Mr. Watson.
Mayor Board, it's hard to compete with that. I have before you tonight a quarterly financial report, and I'll try to keep it brief. I like to get into reviews sometimes, so I'll try to keep it brief. Look at the cover memo, which you already have a copy from Rhonda earlier. You've got your hard copy as a financial report, and I'll give you some totals and then kind of move on a little bit. If you compare year-to-date March 31st numbers for revenue with 68.76%. If you look at expenditures year-to-date in general fund, it's 77.21%. I'm gonna come back to some of these numbers when I finish. Revenues for the water sewer fund are 69.56%, and the expenditures are 66.05%. For stormwater, revenues are 85.97% through March 31st. Expenditures and encumbrances are 38.87%. Sanitation fund revenues are 57.51%, and expenditures are 50.76%. The fleet doesn't have revenues, as I've said before, that's an inter-fund transfer we do to the other funds, but the expenditures year-to-date through March are 69.89%. So if you've got 9 months of the year, that's about approximately 75% that we would be for expenditures. One of the things that affected general fund as well as water sewer fund through March and also as well as December is something that Mayor Dobbins mentioned, Hurricane Florence. We had through into March approximately $67,000 in payroll expenditures, overtime expenditures that will be get reimbursed from FEMA. That's part of the salary and benefits, so we'll be seeing that coming back. We don't know the date, and they're never the date, but hopefully by the end of June. Year to date through March, we have spent approximately $600 and some odd $1,000 in other expenditures on repairs at the wastewater treatment plant, as well as town hall and other items. We will be getting some money back from the League of Municipalities in the insurance pool, hopefully in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Don't know the exact amount yet. And then after that, if anything that they do not cover in our insurance policy, we file through the portal with FEMA, and they pick up the difference. That's part of the plan. So year to date, if you look at totals, 68.66% is revenues for our operational runs. Expenditures, encumbrances are 70.85%. So obviously we spent more than we've taken in year to date through March. But if I go back and take out the payroll expenses as well as the other expenses that we spent, that number becomes, take a look at the number of 9,107,000 numbers of expenditures and encumbrances, that becomes 8,386,786. $732.44. Basically, it makes that 70.85% become 65.24%. That means your revenues are higher than your expenditures at that point. I had to make sure I delved into that a little bit for you. Any questions on that? I know I hit it quick, and I'm trying to keep it under 10 minutes.
Alderman Christian.
Just a quick one, FEMA, when do you expect to be completely reimbursed?
They will not tell you an answer. It may be next fiscal year, Councilman Christian.
Can't really count on it for this coming fiscal year.
No, we have a meeting each and every Thursday with their rep. We didn't have one last week because of the holiday. We'll be coming back this week, and myself and the fire chief are the main contacts. So we'll sit down with them and go through some of the projects, and we're gonna say, okay, it's time for you to put the pressure on your people for the state. That's how we're approaching it.
Okay.
One of the other things that's not on this list, and the manager saw this today, we got the estimates for the streets, and I can't remember the name, Kirsten Avenue, Lake Tree, what's the third one? Remember? That's the third, that's gonna be a little over $100,000, but FEMA will cover that 100%. And that's completely regrading, and all the estimates and everything.
Okay, all right, thank
So
you.
we'll put that in the portal on Thursday when the FEMA representative, he knows it's coming, we talked to him about it.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you, Bush.
Alderman, I'm sorry. Alderman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a question, I don't see the breakdown, but, we recently, for the employees that we had did, I can't think of the name of it, was $125,000. What's the name of it?
Decompression.
The decompression. Now, you was talking about the employees, so where is it, did you add that we have budgeted that amount in the last budget year?
Yes, ma'am.
We don't have a breakdown, but just explain a little bit to me, because you was talking about the employee and how much.
That's embedded in the funds
Uh-huh.
and part of the budget process. So that's already built in to the budget numbers for that to have happened when we did it.
And what is it under?
It's under all of them. The general fund, where the employees are located, in general fund, or
Right.
commercial fund, or sanitation, or fleet, stormwater.
Why? Because it's under all of them, because that's where you took the money at to be able to.
Yes, because you have employees in various, located in various.
So in order to get to $125,000, you took the money from different departments in order to get that
No, we didn't take it, there was already budgeted there.
budget in there.
Yes, ma'am.
And the line item is salaries and benefits, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Hold on, please. You okay, Mr. Jeff?
Yes.
He's trying to make sure I am, so I can understand, so I'll come back with you, but
Okay.
thank you.
And one other question for that Mr. President asked. I think the information is out there that there's still settlements that have not been made, from Hurricane Matthew in a lot of cases. Is that part of what we're going through here as well?
Hurricane Matthew?
Yes, there are some unsettlements out there, yes, still.
I think we've received all the money from Hurricane Matthew.
We have Hurricane Matthew money for what the mayor is saying is that the state has not completed with this Hurricane Matthew monies with the rest of the state.
Yeah, we got a lot of money that we were gonna get.
But that, well, maybe not to be needed, but maybe that was an answer for Mr. Christian as to a time frame when we might, finally settle with these guys.
They will tell you it's up to 2 years, that's what they'll tell you. But I will say, and we have verified this, we were the first community in this area to start working with FEMA, so we were first in the rotation.
In a couple of months, you said, you stated.
They're not gonna give you they will not promise you any time.
You know what the dollar amount is?
But the dollar amount, right at this point in time, if you add for the paving, and everything through the league, it was about $820,000 range.
That was waiting on FEMA.
FEMA and the state, yes. And then what the league insurance pool doesn't pay, that's what we file with FEMA.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
You may proceed.
The next, sheet is the investment report. And I'll hit this very quickly. We compare end of March of 19 to March of 2018. You'll see that our cash went from $5,812,309.47 to $4,764,152.35. So obviously that's close to the 1 to 1.2 million less. There's a reason for that. One, we did, as part of, if you look at the numbers from March through March, something that's anomalies are, we paid DOT for the bridge, for $211,000. We paid 2 payments for the splash pad so far. We also have got 3 vehicles end of last year, beginning of this fiscal year. That was not done prior, as well as got something with the engineer. Then if you add what we spent through March for payroll expenses, for overtime, as well as for Hurricane Florence, all that totals together a little over $1,255,000. So that's basically your difference right there. What happened to that money, or how it was used. So obviously that some of that will be coming back to us when we get reimbursed. If no questions on that, I'll continue on. You notice the monthly earnings for March of 2019, total of $8,546.86. Year-to-date earnings is $62,795.26. And you compare the next column on the prior year monthly comparison on March of 18, you see that those earnings were $6,588.88 compared to $8,546.86. Again, that's due to the interest rates going up, and it would have been more if it had cash in those accounts longer. But you see that that's what the difference in the interest rate increase is at the present time. Any questions?
Thank you.
Is that the interest rate that changed from 9% to 9.5?
It was 0.85 or 0.9, Ms. You're exactly right. It went from, on December the 19th, it changed, the BBD
Right.
account changed. And that's still that today. I think about a year ago,
9% to 9.5.
it's 0.9, I believe it was 9.5, it's 0.95.
Yeah, that's what it says at the bottom. Okay.
If you know other questions, I'll go to the next page. This is the summary of the BB&T Business Services card used by department. And part of your packet I handed out today is the backup to all of those. Again, Ron would not possibly send it to you, but you would not be able to read it. It's too small. So I have the backup for each of those. So if you look at the period from December to January 2nd, that will be the next page. Then January to February, the second page after that. And then the last page will be the February-March time frame. And all that backs itself up based on department, the transaction date, posted date, and where the money was spent, what the vendor's name was, and then the purpose. And this is something we've been doing now probably 4 years, Frank, and I think that's something the board wanted the financial director to do each quarter to do this. And I'm assuming that's the way you like to see it, and I'll continue to do it that way. But if you notice, the total for the quarter was 154 transactions at $25,051.02. Compared to last year, same time, we had 222 transactions. So my math is correct, that's 68 difference. That we had less transactions, but a little bit more money that was spent. I will note that if you look under the senior center, you know, think, why is Doris spending so much money for? She has a grant that she gets, and she has to spend the money to get the money. So that's what happened, and I think she had an extra grant this year compared to last year at that time, so a certain time frame she has to meet.
They apply for it, they're doing great work over
Right.
there. the
Right.
furniture,
Right,
the
Dorothy and I talked a
TV,
lot,
and, they're doing work for the seniors and making sure, they're using the money properly.
I was overseeing Miss Snyder today, and I invited to play bingo, but I had to pass. But that's all I had for the quarter report, investment report, and the BB&T business services card. Unless you have any questions, I'll go to the next item. Thank you.
Can I just ask a question?
Maybe Rhonda, know, why is my name on here? I don't use any money from the town. It says, on 122, I don't take any trips anymore. 122.19, North Carolina League of Municipalities. Is that,
Did you go to the state, county state dinner? The league's annual dinner, it used to be called Town Hall Day, and now they do it,
no
a
ma'am,
dinner.
I didn't.
uh,
I did not. So we can probably, that's not correct. I did not attend. It says $85, but I did not attend, so it might be, maybe we can get some money back, but I did not attend.
Okay.
Any other? Okay. Shall we move on? Okay, Chief Williams, and then Mr. Gerald.
Mayor, Board, talking to Mr. Mayor there, right before the meeting, and he was talking about safety. Because of the water rescue we had today, we had another one today. We pulled 4 people out, nobody really hurt, and I took, one person to the hospital because he was really cold, but the water's extremely cold. But, one thing I want the town to realize is that, the fire department might go do these things, but it's this board that really gets a lot of the credit, because you don't bat an eye when we say, we need a boat, or we need a drone, or we need something to make sure that safety is number one. And you guys really is just as big as part that we are, saving these people's lives. So one, I want to say thank you for what you do on backing us up. I know PD feels the same way. We know that you have the citizens' safety in number one. So I want to say thank you from them and for us. We're going to be doing some more water safety with the people down there, so they kind of know a little bit more. We're going to work with them a little bit better. Just educating them on what we need. We're also covering some things with 911 to be able to get an ambulance quicker, get another boat from Fort Bragg coming too, so we have enough people in there to make sure we have everything covered. So we're doing everything that we can so far with safety wise, that I think that we're on the right track. And like I said, you guys are a blessing every time. It makes it a lot easier for us. So I want to say thank you. I appreciate what you guys do, because you're just as big as a team as we are.
Can you also add more of your roadside pedestrian safety signs that you have, I think, pretty well dispersed throughout the town, especially, I guess, back towards South Bragg Boulevard?
You want more of them?
If you would, please.
That's fine. That's fine. I think it seems to be helping. Even though we do still see people crossing in places, we'll get some more out. It seems like PD seems like they've slowed down some people coming through town. I've noticed that too. So hopefully we're on the right track. It's taking a little bit to get these lights put in, but we spent, Mr. Gerald told us, me and I think it was Butch then too, that we spent almost 2 weeks with DOT driving around, walking the area. Mr. Mayor, you were there. A lot of y'all was out there. picking out spots that were dangerous, and we haven't got any back with them yet, I know that, so, but that's on the radar, they're working pretty hard with that, so. But we will put more signs out, we'll do everything we need to do to prevent any of these terrible accidents we don't need.
And, Alderman Sutherland.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Chief Williams, you can see those signs, you may be aware of it. Some people are like, what are you talking about? So, it is making a difference if you can read it and if you can see it. I have a suggestion that the new ones that you get, if they could be like a neon color, we might have to spend a little bit of money, but I think safety is more important than, because we do spend money on other things. So, if we could do like a neon color to bring attention to them, like, you know, when you have a yard sale, you have a pink, that yellow neon looking color.
The assistant chief actually asked to do that, and I'm like, that's too much, I said, let's just go with white.
It's not too
You're
much.
exactly right, I think it's, we need to really make them pop.
Because, you know,
And I'll
second
make a little
nature, individuals start getting used to stuff, it's just a normal, sign just sitting there. But if we can just change it up a little bit,
Sure, we'll get the brightest ones you want.
that sounds good.
All right,
Thank you.
thank y'all.
And your, open house.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Saturday, we are having an open house here to kind of kick off the bathroom. Ms. Jackson, should we really push that bathroom? Everybody's been pushing that bathroom. We've done some models down there in fire, which is great. But we want to really show the town and show the citizens what we do. We're gonna have some cars here that we can cut up. We're gonna have like a little, a fire that simulate, so we can, show exactly what the town does, what the fire department does, and, how we're there for them. So it's not a pretty good. So it's gonna be from 10 to 2, if you can make it out there. Say hi to your people. All right, thank you.
Chief, you all keep up the great work.
Can you elaborate a little bit on the demolition of the fires that you did? You invited us, I was ill, I couldn't come out, but you've done 2.
We did, we burnt 2 of the houses, it was, you know, the town's houses, they wanted them gone, we did the testing on them, everything came back clear, and we did training on those, which turned out really well. Ms. Cooper come out, and she was kind of watching it, and she didn't want to go near it, but I wanted to get her in there. But yeah, anytime we do this, we want you guys to know what we do. I know you think you do, but there's so many things, it's a turning thing. You know, and out there just showing her, you know, the new hoses you guys let us get, and just how the nozzle reacts different to it. So, and we went through that, we talked about that. And that's all just, the more we educate each other, the better off we are. And that's when we do this, just to burn those houses up like that. It's great training for these guys down here, but it also educates everybody that's around.
And I was out at the one near, Taco Bell.
Yes, ma'am.
And in order for you to burn those, because I know we had got those, for the fire department, their breathing safety, and it's counsel that they can breathe in some of those chemicals. And we had got those saunas put in to try to utilize. But me being more educated about that, I was kind of first like, well, why? But now I understand, because of the reason for your training and your burning and the chemicals that you use. So I just want to applaud you all for the work that you do for the great town of Spring Lake and the safety for our citizens.
Again, it goes back to you guys first. We can't do anything without your guys' blessing on it. So it's a team effort, everybody. If we educate you and we ask for something, you know exactly what we're asking for. You know, if we come up and don't educate you, just say, hey, we need this, you're like, what in the world for? The saunas was a great point.
You on the news again, so the 2 children and the lady that you all rescued, and then it was another lady, is it a reason why that they're able to utilize? Is it okay for them to get out there to utilize that area?
It is. It's a you know, they go there. They go to the launching stage. They rent the kayaks and you go down. I think right now the problem is there's been so much water and we've had so much rain. It's really fast, and it don't look like it. The current's really bad, and once it gets you tipped over or you're not really safe on these kayaks still tip over. You know, it's not a Zodiac. So once it does tip over, that's where the panic comes in. Both of them, credit to them, they had their best on. The lady, Saturday actually had her whistle, it's the only reason we actually heard her. She was blowing her whistle. They all carry a whistle on these vests to alert us if something's wrong. That's what got us over there, that's what got the drone over there to find exactly where they were. Boat just showed up, so it worked out really well.
Okay, the whistle, that's how you knew. Does the whistle transmit through a
No, just a
device?
whistle, just a regular whistle. We can
So
just
you
hear
can
it.
hear it from there to,
Not the station, but when we're out there looking. Yeah.
oh, okay.
Yeah, no, when we're out there looking, we already got the dispatch down to that point for a missing lady.
So when somebody's going out there, you all go out to just be in the area, is that what you're saying?
No, ma'am. No, they go down
You
a
just have
lot.
to be out there.
Yeah, they call us when they have an incident they can't handle, and we show
Oh.
up for that.
Okay.
And that's, like I said, the both worked out great, and you gave us the green light on that, so we appreciate it. We did it for the hurricane, but you see it's still working out dividends now.
Well, it was great news, report. I'm glad they're safe and you all did the work that you
We
trained
tried,
them.
yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Mr. Gerald.
Yes, Mayor. Mayor, Board of Aldermen, as far as the update, we did meet with NCDOT today, as well as, Duke Power, who met with Mr. Hines of NCDOT, and we met with Mr. Whitaker of Duke Power. They gave us the plans for the lights. We finally, got the plans, and the mayor and I did the first mark through, for the lights. So if you look at the screen, if you see, about right here, this is south going into Fayetteville. They're gonna go right to the edge of, city limits, which was, what's that, McDowell Street? Is that McKenzie? I think, is that McKenzie? In there, and it's gonna stop right below Arby's right there. So the lights are gonna start there. It's gonna be a total of 87 lights. 82 of those lights will be new.
What kind of lights are you talking about?
There will be LED lights. This is
The lighting for the community.
lighting for the community.
Is that the cross, the bridge? Is
Yes.
that off of the bridge?
Yeah, now the bridge is gonna have lighting as well. It will have, it's gonna have lights on either side of the bridge. It's gonna be 2 lights on either side of the bridge. The bridge itself will not have lights. DOT doesn't allow lights actually on bridges. The roundabout will have 3 lights around it. So it will be lit. And then going up, 87 to 10, lights will be on both sides. And like I said, we looked at the plans and we marked them up. They did have lights going all the way onto Fort Bragg, which that was outside of our city limits, and we took those off.
Is that phase 2 of our LED light? Is that phase 2? Because we never completed the ones that we put up, and I think we had inquired on that. So
I believe this is to, I don't know what phase, but this is to get the project finished.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
brand new lights finished, and DOT said that they would pay for the install of the lights, even though there are lights, yes, I couldn't believe it either. So, they said they would pay
Well, that's good, if we
for
paid
the lights.
$60,000 for the ones that we already have installed in Spring Lake, like on Pantry Lane, Woodland West, and different areas where they changed out the lighting.
Right.
So they're gonna pay for it?
They're gonna pay for it. Now, they're gonna stop about right in here with the lighting. And correct me if I'm wrong, Mayor, about right in
They're
here.
gonna stop at Fifth Street
Is it
on,
Fifth Street? Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah.
They were gonna stop, and the mayor said they need to come down to Fifth Street, that's right.
to the end of their project, and on Rose Street, on Highway 87.
Right, and we have these crosswalks here, right here, you see that crosswalk?
Right.
We're looking to light those crosswalks up with pedestrian walking lights.
Right,
So
where you
you
push
can
the button,
flash,
like they
yeah.
have it down at Murphy's,
Murphy's, and also,
at the church, Hollandale Church has
Right.
one.
and it'll flash, yes. And then over on 87 is, the lighting will go all the way down to, was it Saucy Wings? ma'am?
Yes,
Saucy Wings.
yes.
But it's gonna come all the way down to right here, Saucy Wings. So they're gonna bring the schematic back to us, and, the mayor and I will mark those up, and then once we mark those up, we'll bring that to the board, for the board to look at.
You can't go past Sausawing
Right.
because
That's where DOT's project stops. So they're lighting up their project.
Do we pick up from that point on, or,
What do you mean,
are we gonna have lights ourselves?
we would have to, if we wanted to pick up going further down, we'd have to add those ourselves.
When you get down there by, Jersey Mike or something like that, that's where one guy had to run over across the road.
We would have to add that, they're stopping at something.
Yeah, that's a part of
Yeah, Jersey Mike is,
So that should be in DOT.
I don't know.
No.
Where is Jersey Mike?
Jersey Michael will work.
It's
right
right
across the new one.
Yeah, right there.
Right in there, that's where the pizza place.
Yeah, yes, sir, so we'd have to add that light. So, but that meeting today was probably the best DOT meeting that we've had so far. So I think we're finally winning the battle.
Mayor Pro Tem O'Gara.
Manager, all the time that we've been barking at you and cornering you and harassing you, and I'm gonna stop now. Appreciate it, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Hankins.
Mr. Mayor, I have some news for the mayor and board about one of the pending lawsuits. Any citizen, obviously, who has a complaint is free to come discuss that, and ultimately the courts are open, and everyone is entitled to their day in court. You all might remember that there was a pending lawsuit, notice I just said was, a pending lawsuit called Archie Jackson versus Dobbins. Really was against the mayor in his official capacity, and you might remember it was about some difference of opinion about the history of the town flag and who should get credit for some of that. That lawsuit was pending in federal court in the Eastern District against really the mayor in his official capacity. I'm pleased to tell you that the federal district court judge dismissed that lawsuit today. Tony Buzzard, the previous town attorney, handled that. He's an excellent trial lawyer, so that is good news. It was dismissed in a way that it cannot be refiled. So that litigation is concluded.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. We shall now, proceed now to new business. Ms. Page again. Thank you, Ms. Page, for being so patient.
Again, case P 1910. And just to read the action from the planning board. In the action, the Cumberland County Joint Planning Board recommends approval of the text amendments to the Spring Lake zoning ordinance, finding it is consistent with the adopted comprehensive plan designated as the 2030 growth vision plan, specifically including policy area 1, a more diversified local economy, and policy area 9, compatible commercial development, and the Spring Lake Area Land Use Plan 2003, goal of providing atmosphere that promotes the expansion of commercial development that is dynamic, diverse, and capable of providing a full range of business and economic opportunities, and further find approval of the amendment as reasonable and in the public interest because the amendment, if approved, would enable property owners and developers to market the call center use for commercial properties, therefore opening more opportunities for economic development. Additionally, this amendment was prepared and submitted by the town of Spring Lake. If the board so chooses to approve and make their motion, it could be made subject as the same findings as the Cumberland County Joint Planning Board.
Alderwoman Christian, I'm sorry, forgive me. Alderwoman Sutherland.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to make a motion that we approve ordinance number 2019-4 zoning ordinance amendment.
Alderman Christian,
Second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve ordinance 19-10, revision and amendment of the town Spring Lake zoning ordinance. You heard the motion, are you ready for the question? All in favor, sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, by the sign of nay. Thank you, Ms. Page. You may remain there for the next case.
Mayor,
Yes, excuse me.
just, I was noticing when I was going through the paperwork, I believe from the planning commission, that several of the names on the listing are out of date.
Yes.
Could we get those updated, to represent the, to have the right representation?
Were
Ms.
there
Page.
names in particular? If you would, I can be sure that they are
Um,
on the actual case itself, if you don't mind.
Town of Spring Lake, the fire chief is, Chief Williams. Mr. Cooney's name, he's no longer with us. And just those two that I saw.
Yes, that will definitely be updated. I do believe that, to my understanding, some of the cases may have come in outside or prior to the changes. And we're so used to using that boiler template that we have tendency to update accordingly, but I will ensure that this will be updated moving forward. And
Yes.
the next case, if you would please, I was instructed by Ms. Rhonda to ask you if you could please turn to
The pictures are in
Can
that
we-
section for
Oh, yeah.
10 feet.
or your pictures as the video instructions. This case here is case 19-034. It's a consideration of Mabel McLean Scott property, request for a subdivision review, Spring Lake subdivision ordinance, zone CP/MSOD and C3/MSOD. Total 8.70 acres located at 604 North Main Street, State Route 1449, submitted by Mabel McLean Scott, owner. If you have your picture, and I don't have one for the audience, but if you were to have your aerial photo, the subject property and the aerial photo is outlined in blue. If you were to notice on the detailed submitted site plan, there is a cornered off section, and this is the portion that the property owner is requesting approval of a 2-lot subdivision. Tract 2 has the existing, which is this tract down here in the corner, and has the existing dwelling located on the portion of the parcel, zone C3/MSOD, and the remaining tract 1, which is the larger portion of the tract, is labeled as tract 1. The larger portion of the tract is vacant land. The parcel has 1,048 square feet of street frontage along State Route 1449, which is known as North Main Street, and the development is served by the town of Spring Lake water and sewer system. And again, attached you will find the subdivision sketch aerial photo and the recommended conditions of approval.
Are there questions before a motion? Alderwoman Cooper.
Yes, does she have an intended use for the, why she wants to?
The larger tract, yeah, I did ask that question myself, just in case someone did ask me that question. And I was told no, that there is no intended use for the larger portion of the tract. That they're just wanting to separate and subdivide the existing dwelling that's there from that larger part. However, if there were to be any developments naturally as it is zoned, it would be a plan or a subdivision or review that would come back to the board for approval.
Okay, thank you.
Alderwoman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That was my question as well. Is it gonna be residential, since you said the second part for the subdivision?
No, ma'am,
We would
it
bring
is, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, go ahead.
As it is zoned, it's zone C3,
Right,
and MSOD, so only the uses that would be allowed in that specified zoning would be able to go on that tract, unless for some reason this, the owner were to come in and submit a rezoning, and in either fashion, it would come back to the board, no matter what development or whatever takes place there. The portion that is, in that, I apologize, but in the south corner here, that dwelling is already existing on the 8.70 acres, and they just want to keep their home on that part there. For any reason, again, if they were to rezone or want to do any future development, I did want to confirm that on my own accord, just to make sure I understood. It would come back to the board for review.
Okay,
Yes.
all right, thank you.
Alderman Christian.
Mayor, I move that we approve the subdivision.
And if I may explain, it's just called subdivision because it's one tract and it's divided on lot. That's why, okay, I'm sorry. Okay. I do apologize. If I may explain, the term subdivision is used as it is one large acre of tract, and anytime you portion off a piece of a parent tract, it is called subdividing. That's why it's called subdivision. Yes, that's why.
Mayor Pro Tem.
I'd like to second that motion. Was properly presented, do we need to say case 19-034 or something like that?
Yes, sir, it's case 19-034.
Restate your motion, sir.
Mayor, I move that we approve case number 19-034.
A second.
It has been moved and second that we approve case 19-034. You heard the motion. Are you ready for the question? All in favor, sign of aye. Any opposed, by the sign of nay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. The budget amendment, Mr. Watson, again, please.
Good evening again, Board and Mayor. What I have before you tonight is a budget amendment where the fire department applied for a grant through Walmart and received a $2,000 grant. And for the purposes of receipt, we had to do a budget amendment so we can actually do the expenditure. So what the second page shows you, we would bring that into miscellaneous revenue. Then on the expense side, it would be a non-capital small equipment, and what the equipment will be is weights and punching bags and so forth of that physical training program at fire department. This was on the April 8th agenda, and it got canceled that night due to weather, so this is why it showed back up again.
Mayor Pro Tem, okay.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve amendment 2019.3 fire department.
Alderwoman Cooper.
I second that motion.
It has been moved and second that we approve the grant budget, that we approve the budget amendment 2019.3 for the fire department. You heard the motion. Are you ready for the question? All in favor by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed by the sign of nay. Thank you, Mr. Watson.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Gerald.
Yes, Mayor.
Resolution 2000.
Yes, sir. Mayor, Board of Aldermen, I have before you a resolution for the town to commit to the North Carolina Main Street and Rural Planning Center. This resolution will make the town eligible to participate with the Downtown Associate Community Program. So I recommend that you adopt the resolution as written, Resolution 2019-5.
Are there discussion before motion? Alderwoman Cooper?
I just had a quick question. Was that something we had discussed,
Yep.
we had talked about that, earlier?
Yes, I understand the confusion. Earlier we talked about the state program. State Commerce has a program as well, which we did sign up for that. But this is a different program, but it's run under state commerce as well. So we have to have a resolution stating that we're gonna participate in their program, and I think we budget at least $5,000 a year to help rejuvenate downtown.
So where are we with the state program that we discussed, and sent? I know we signed paperwork.
We signed, a contract with that. That contract really didn't have any upfront money. You were just supposed to, like, buy lunch and support their travel time. They have since switched operators or switched, regional persons in that department. So the person that we met with is no longer on this side of the state. I think they're on the western side. We now have a female that now represents us, and she actually met with me and the mayor when we went to Salisbury for the downtown redevelopment consortium, and this was a part of the program she wanted us to be in as well.
So we can do both?
Yes.
Okay.
Alderman Sucker.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Town Manager, what benefits are we gonna get out of this?
What we'll get out is, getting a funding source to help revitalize downtown so that we won't just have tax dollars to pull from or water and sewer dollars.
At Main Street, you know, we have 3 different, we've done a match where if the individual property owners, it was $75,000 that we got from the county, and then if they put up, they would get the 35, and then they had to match it. So we're no longer in that. This is a different.
Right. So what we're gonna do, that's a different thing. So what we're gonna do, we're not gonna recreate the wheel. I think we have 4 or 5 drawings of downtown. So we're gonna bring the drawings back to the board, have the board select the drawing, and then that's what we'll move forward on.
Now, the dollar amount may not be correct, but some years ago, the town did approve about $55,000 for the infrastructure to start looking to see. So if we can look that up to find out, because we had started moving on Main Street.
Correct.
So to find out where we are, how much money we put in, and for the infrastructure and what we did with the pipes and the different things of that nature. What happened there?
I would have to confirm that. I don't think we did any upgrades to downtown. I don't believe. I know we paid for the renderings, so I don't look to pay for a rendering again since we have renderings already.
And what's the rent?
The drawings of how we wanted it to look. So we have like 3 or 4 drawings of how it looked. I think McConnell did one, McGill did one, DMP Engineering did one. I think one other person did one. So we just have to just select the drawing.
I think this is great. I'm gonna throw it out there. We have our fire department. We're trying to get another fire department. What I would like to see that, our Spring Lake Police Department would like downtown Fayetteville, they put their police department down on Hay Street in that area. It's still for economic development. Individuals wanted to be there because of the safety. I would like to see somewhere on Main Street, and I'm looking at that building, professional building, and we'll talk about it, but I'm putting it out there in the atmosphere. Because budget is coming up, just kind of move them, and it may give more space to the, fire department or whatever, but that is something, as a board member, I think that if we're gonna revitalize economic development, individuals wanna come in the same way like they did down on Hay Street, but I'm just gonna put it out there.
Yes, ma'am. Agreed.
Talk about it.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem O'Gara.
Sir, do we need a motion for this resolution?
Yes,
Resolution?
we need a
I'd like
motion.
to make a motion for resolution 2019-5.
Alderman Sucker.
I second that motion.
It has been moved and second that we approve resolution 2019.5, participate in the Downtown Association Community Program. You heard the motion. Are you ready for the question? All in favor, sign of aye. Any opposed, by the sign of nay. Item E, the board to consider approval of an amended interlocal agreement. Mr. Gerald, please.
Yes, if you're looking, Mayor, Board of Aldermen, if you're looking in your packets, this is the, planning agreement that, Ms. Cannon came here and gave a speech on, or gave a presentation on why she would like that department to work that way. In working with the county, They have been an excellent funding source for us in funding fire departments and things of that nature. So I think, as in good faith, we should move forward and sign the document.
We have one municipality already to sign. I think I've highlighted it here.
They all have signed. We confirmed that Eastover signed and Linden.
Hold on.
So we will be the last to sign.
Okay, Ms. Cooper.
Can you give me an update? You said all have signed, because when I last checked, only one had signed, and I believe that was Hope Mills.
You're correct. That was correct. I think I had conversations with the attorney late last week, and then I called to confirm from Eastover, which they had signed, and Linden. So all of the communities that participated on the board previously have signed.
So you don't have an update on Falcon, Wade?
Wade and Falcon are not a part.
They're signed?
They're not a part.
Oh, no.
One of them is not a part.
They don't have representatives, but they're still a part of it.
Right. They don't have representatives, but everybody who has representatives signed.
What were you saying, Rhonda? Were you saying?
I spoke to the clerk in Falcon. She was asking
Oh, yeah,
about
they
it because
signed.
everyone else had signed.
Okay.
Are there further questions or discussion? Alderwoman Sutherland.
Question. A representation at the table. And basically, in each municipality, there was a representative that spoke on the behalf of their town. By reading this, I didn't see how they would go forward. I do think it's proper for Ms. Cannon, since she is the county manager, but like any department head, that she would go over this as well. And for future reference, I think that it's great for economic development. There is something out there on the table. There has been discussions for the fire department, and I hope that if we didn't sign it, that they wouldn't pull it back, but to be, to network and be a good team player. And I did do some research as well, that it's really not gonna hurt us if, you know, we sign it. So, just to say that. Thank you.
Any further discussion? It's time now to make a motion. Approve, reject, or modify. Alderwoman Sutherland.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to make a motion to approve the request of the county manager.
A motion first.
I did, I just made a motion.
Oh, I thought you were. Okay, is there a second? Well, you know what happens to motions when they're not second.
It dies. I did make the motion.
3, 2, 1. Okay. We now move to the last word. Yes, you.
I want to thank everyone for coming out. I especially want to thank our town employees. You all do such a great job, and you make us look good every day out there. I really enjoy, you know, talking to you, seeing you when I'm riding through town. So I really, really want to thank you all mostly because you make us look good. And I'll be traveling again this weekend. You all pray I can get there and get back safely. And thank you all again for coming.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
So be it.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adjourn. First motion